In one of the three main storylines in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we helped Arven take down the 5 Titan Pokemon scattered around Paldea: Cloth, Bombirdier, Earthworm, Great Tusk or Iron Shreds depending on your version, and Tatsugiri. Technically Dondozo too. But what if there were 5 Titan Pokemon that had to be quelled in every other region? Who would they be? Well, I'm Shrill, and I've come back from the Howley Cemetery to answer those questions in this video. Let's dive in. So here's how this will work. To decide our new Titans, I'll use the 5 types used for the existing ones: Rock, Flying, Steel, Ground, and Dragon, and I'll explore the options. As for our options, the Pokemon must be single stage, since all the existing Titans are single stage. This will be an important rule to remember. Also, they can't be legendaries or starters. And from there, I'll choose the Pokemon with the highest base stat total. Starting with Kanto. For the Rock Titan, the options are Onix and Aerodactyl. Onix has a base stat total of 385, while Aerodactyl has 515, so I'll choose Aerodactyl. For the Flying Titan, the options are Farfetch'd and Scyther. Farfetch'd's base stat total is at 377, while Scyther is all the way at 500. Scyther wins. The Steel Titan is an interesting case because the only Kanto Steel types are Magnemite and Magneton. So even though it's not single stage, I had to let Magneton be the Steel Titan, cause what else am I gonna do? For the Ground Titan, only Onix fits the criteria. Since Onix seems to be more associated with the Rock type, I'm tempted to choose out the pure Ground types. They seem like better fits. But for the sake of being fair, I'll leave it at Onix. And for the Dragon Titan, I have no choice but Dragonite, even though it has a line. So the Titans for Kanto are Aerodactyl, Scyther, Magneton, Onix, and Dragonite. On to Johto. The options for the Rock Titan are Sudowoodo, Shuckle, and Corsola. Both Sudowoodo and Corsola are at 410, while Shuckle is up at 505. Shuckle wins. The options for the Flying Titan are Yanma, Murkrow, Gligar, Delibird, and Skarmory. Delibird is at 330, Yanma is at 390, Murkrow is at 405, Gligar is at 430, and Skarmory is at 465. Skarmory wins. Yet again, there's an interesting case with the Steel Titan. The only option is Skarmory. Yeah, it's already our Flying Titan. I could choose another Flying Titan, but all the other options were underwhelming. So I'll go ahead and choose from the evolved Steel types to be the Steel Titan. Fortress is at 465, Scizor is at 500, but just by 10, Steelix beats it at 510. Steelix wins. The only option for the Ground Titan is Gligar, so it wins. And even though it's evolved, the only options for the Dragon Titan is Kingdra, so it wins. The Titans for Johto are Shuckle, Skarmory, Steelix, Gligar, and Kingdra. Next up is Hoenn. For the Rock Titan, the options are Nosepass, Lunatone, Solrock, and Relicanth. Nosepass is at 375. Lunatone and Solrock are both at 460, and Relicanth is at 485. Relicanth wins. But since there are a pair of Virgin exclusives here, and since they weren't far from winning, I see an opportunity here to spice things up a bit. Relicanth would be the Rock Titan, but for Pokemon Emerald. If you're playing Ruby or Omega Ruby, then the Rock Titan would be Solrock, and if you're playing Sapphire or Alpha Sapphire, then the Rock Titan would be Lunatone. For the Flying Titan, the only option is Tropius, so it wins. For the Steel Titan, the only option is Mawile, so it wins. For the Ground Titan, there's no single stages, so I'll choose from the evolved forms. Camerupt is at 460, Wishcash is at 468, Claydol is at 500, and Flygon is at 520. Flygon wins. There's also no single stages for the Dragon Titan. Since I already chose Flygon for the Ground Titan, the options left are Altaria and Salamence. Altaria is at 490, while Salamence is all the way at 600. So Salamence wins. So the Titans for Hoenn are Solrock, Lunatone, or Relicanth, depending on the version. Tropius, Mawile, Flygon, and Salamence. Time for Sinnoh. Again, there's no single stages for the Rock Titan, so I'll choose from the evolved ones. Rampardos and Bastiodon are at 495. Probopass is at 525, but just by 10, Rhyperior wins with 535. The options for the Flying Titan are Chatot and Fanrotom. Chatot is at 411. And Fanrotom is at 520. I guess Fanrotom is our Flying Titan. No single stages for the Steel Titan, so the options are Bastiodon, Trash Cloak Wormadam, Bronzong, Lucario, Magnezone, and Probopass. Trash Cloak Wormadam is at 424, Bastiodon is at 495, Bronzong is at 500. Lucario and Probopass are both at 525, but Magnezone beats them by 10 and wins with 535. No single stages for the Ground Titan, so the options are Sandy Cloak Wormadam, Gastrodon, Garchomp, Hippowdon, Rhyperior, Gliscor, and Mamoswine. We'll drop Rhyperior since it's already the Rock Titan. Sandy Cloak Wormadam is at 424, Gastrodon is at 475, Gliscor is at 510, Hippowdon is at 525, Mamoswine is at 530, and Garchomp wins with 600. But for the Dragon Titan, the only option is Garchomp. So because of this, and the fact that it kind of seems more associated with the Dragon type, Garchomp will be the Dragon Titan instead, and Mamoswine, next in line, will be the Ground Titan. So the Titans for Sinnoh are Rhyperior, Fanrotom, Magnezone, Mamoswine, and Garchomp. Let's move on to Unova. For the Rock Titan, there are no single stages, so our options are Gigalith, Crustle, Caracosta, and Arceus. Crustle is at 485, Caracosta is at 495, Gigalith is at 515, and Arceus wins with 567. For the Flying Titan, the options are Sigilyph and Emolga. Emolga is at 428, while Sigilyph wins with 490. For the Steel Titan, the only option is Durant, so it wins. For the Ground Titan, the only option is Stunfisk, so it wins. And for the Dragon Titan, the only option is Druddigon, so it wins. So the Titans for Unova are Arceus, Sigilyph, Durant, Stunfisk, and Druddigon. On to Kalos. The only option for the Rock Titan is Carving, so it wins. There's no single stages for the Flying Titan, so the options are Talonflame, Vivillon, Hawlucha, and Noivern. Vivillon is at 411, Talonflame is at 499, Hawlucha is at 500, and Noivern wins with 535. Again, the only option for the Steel Titan is Klefki, so it wins. There's also no single stages for the Ground Titan, and our only option is Diggersby, so it wins. And yet again, no single stages for the Dragon Titan, but we do have options this time. Dragalge, Tyrantrum, Goodra, and Noivern. But we'll drop Noivern since it's the Flying Titan. Dragalge is at 494, Tyrantrum is at 521, and Goodra wins with 600. So the Titans for Kalos are Carbink, Noivern, Klefki, Diggersby, and Goodra. Next up is Alola. For the Rock Titan, the only option is Minior, so it wins. For the Flying Titan, the options are Oricorio and Minior, but we'll drop Minior since it's the Rock Titan, so Oricorio wins. For the Steel Titan, the only option is Togedemaru, so it wins. For the Ground Titan, there are no single stages, so the options are Mudsdale and Palossand. Palossand is at 480, while Mudsdale wins with 500. And for the Dragon Titan, the options are Turtonator and Trampa, and it looks like they're both tied for 485. But it turns out that these Pokemon are actual counterparts and version exclusives. So if you're playing Sun or Ultra Sun, then the Titan would be Turtonator. If you're playing Moon or Ultra Moon, then the Titan would be Trampa. So the Titans for Alola are Minior, Oricorio, Togedemaru, Mudsdale, and Turtonator or Trampa, depending on the version. And finally, Galar. The only option for the Rock Titan is Sojourner, so it wins. The only option for the Flying Titan is Cramorant, so it wins. The only option for the Steel Titan is Duraludon, so it wins. There's no single stages for the Ground Titan, so the options are Sandaconda and Runerigus. Runerigus is at 483, while Sandaconda wins with 510. The options for the Dragon Titan are Dracosalt, Dracovish, and Duraludon. We'll drop Duraludon since it's the Steel Titan. Both Dracosalt and Dracovish are tied at 505. You can probably guess which approach I'm going to take for this. If you're playing Sword, the Titan would be Dracosalt, and if you're playing Shield, then the Titan would be Dracovish. So the Titans for Galar are Sojourner, Cramorant, Duraludon, Sandaconda, and Dracosalt or Dracovish, depending on the version. What's your favorite group of Titans? What do you think about the criteria overrides and the special approaches that occurred way more than I initially thought they would when I started writing this video? Any other thoughts? Leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to tackle that like button and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya.